Hare Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरावनचारी। यमुना तीरावनचारी।
यमुना तीरावनचारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी।
राधा माधव कुंज विहारी।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
जय राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधे।
राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधा वृंदावन चंद्र।
जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे।
जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे।
जय गीताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग।
जय निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग। निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग।
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद। His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami प्रभुपाद की जय। ISKCON संस्थापकाचार्य सेवर द होल वर्ल्ड विश्व गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंद हरि। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is entitled Remembrance of Lord Krishna. The remembrance of Lord Krishna by Uddhava when prompted by a question by Vidura. Text number 19. Kindly repeat after me. Drishta bhavadbhir nanu rajasuye. Drishta bhavadbhir nanu rajasuye. Chaidyasya Krishnam Dvishato Api Siddhihi. Chaidyasya Krishnam Dvishatopi Siddhihi. Yam Samsprhayanti Samyag. Yam yogina samsprhayanti samyag yogena kaha tad viraham saheta yogena kastad viraham saheta. Drishta bhavadbhir nanarajasuye. Chaidyasya Krishnam Dvishatopi Siddhihi. Yam yoginas samsprhayanti samyak yogena kastad viraham saheta. Drishta bhavadbhir nanurajasuye. Chaidyasya Krishnam Dvishatopi Siddhihi. Yam yoginas samsprhayanti samyag yogena kastad viraham saheta. Drishta bhavadbhir nanarajasuye. Chaidyasya Krishnam Dvishatopi Siddhihi. Yam yoginas samsprhayanti samyag yogena kastad viraham saheta. Drishta bhavadbhir nanarajasuye. Yasya Krishnam Dvishatopi Siddhihi. Yam yogina bhavadbhir nanurajasuye. Chaidyasya Krishnam Dvishatopi Siddhihi. Yam yogina samsprhayanti samyag yogena kastad viraham saheta. Drishta, it has been seen, bhavadbhihi, by your good self. Nanu, of course, Rajasuye, in the assembly of the Rajasuya sacrifice, performed by Maharaj Yudhishthira. Chaidyasya, of the king of Chedi, Shishupala, Krishnam, unto Krishna, Vishataha, envying, api, in spite of, siddhihi, success, yam, which, yoginaha, the yogis, samsprhayanti, verily desire, samyak, fully, yogena, the performance of yoga, kaha, who, that his viraham, separation, saheta, can tolerate. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Translation. You have personally seen how the king of Chedi, Shishupala, achieved success in yoga practice, although he hated Lord Krishna. Even the actual yogis aspire after such success with great interest by performance of their various practices. Please repeat this translation after me. You have personally seen how the king of Chedi, Shishupala, achieved success in yoga practice, although he hated Lord Krishna. Even the actual yogis aspire after such success with great interest by performing various practices. Lord Krishna's causeless mercy was exhibited in the great assembly of Maharaj Yudhishthira. He was merciful even to his enemy, the king of Chedi, always tried to be an envious rival of the Lord. Because it is not possible to be a bona fide rival of the Lord, the king of Chedi was extremely malicious toward Lord Krishna. In this, he was like many other asuras, such as Kamsa and Jarasandha. In the open assembly of the Rajasuya sacrifice performed by Maharaj Yudhishthira, Shishupala insulted Lord Krishna, and he was finally killed by the Lord. But it was seen by everyone in the assembly that a light flashed out of the body of the king of Chedi and merged into the body of Lord Krishna. This means that Chedi Raja achieved the salvation of attaining oneness with the Supreme, which is a perfection most desired by the Jnanis and Yogis, and for which they execute their different transcendental. It is a fact that persons who are trying to understand the Supreme Truth by their personal endeavors of mental speculation or mystic yoga achieve the same goal as others who are personally killed by. Both achieve the salvation of merging in the Brahma Jyoti phase of the transcendental body. The Lord was merciful even to his enemy, and the success of the king of Chedi was observed by everyone who was present in the assembly. Vidura was also present there. Therefore, Uddhava referred the incident to his memory. That's Magyanatimirandasya Jnananjanashaktiunmilitam Yena Tasmai Namah. Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Vasadi Gauranda Pangum Lang Yatripatmaham Vande Sharinam Yatripatmaham Vande Paramanandamadhavam Yatripatmaham Vande Chaitanya Ishwaram Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So this is a verse that is spoken by Uddhava in response to questions by Vidura. And Uddhava is being reminded of Krishna by Vidura's question. Because Uddhava is a pure devotee of Krishna, he went into ecstasy just by remembrance. Of course, pure devotees never forget, unlike conditioned souls who are forgetful of Krishna in this way. But even then, when somebody inquires from them about Krishna, their remembrance of Krishna is intensified to such an extent that they go into total ecstasy. And that's what happened in the beginning of this chapter. What happened to Uddhava when Vidura inquired from him about Krishna? Immediately, Uddhava went into total ecstasy. And for some time he could not speak. And when he began to speak, he expressed his feeling of intense separation from. That's the kind of experience. So the symptom of that intense feeling of separation and the total ecstasy is expressed by him here. Kaha tad viraham saheta. Who can tolerate even a moment's separation from here? Who refers to? So, the characteristic of a devotee is that in the advanced stages of bhakti yoga, a devotee develops taste for performing service and also attachment for serving. So these are stages of development of bhakti in the path of pure devotional service. This means nectar. So Uddhava is a perfect devotee. Pure devotee. He is a constant companion of Krishna. But when Krishna wound up his pastimes, he instructed Uddhava to stay back. And Krishna minds of his pastimes is eternal. Go back to the spiritual world. But especially Uddhava was instructed by Krishna to stay back on this. And he was passing his days in intense feeling of separation from Krishna. And Vidura happened to meet Uddhava in Badrikashrama. And Vidura inquired about Krishna. Vidura was on a long pilgrimage. And Vidura did not know that Krishna had actually disappeared. So he was inquiring Uddhava about Krishna. So immediately, as I described earlier, Uddhava was put into intense remembrance of Krishna. And he is expressing his feelings of intense remembrance and total ecstasy with such words as, who can tolerate even a moment's separation? Why? Because here he is glorifying Krishna. It's very, very, very merciful. The Prabhupada has taught us the prayer of Krishna in the beginning of the introduction to the Bhagavad Gita. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu. Krishna is an ocean of compassion. So it is evident here in this incident being cited by Uddhava about Krishna that in the Rajasuya sacrifice performed by Maharaj Yudhishthira, Krishna was present and Shishupala also was present. So just a little background for the incident. It is explained in the Krishna book, 10th canto of Bhagavatam, that after the Pandavas regained their kingdom and built the magnificent city of Indraprastha, King Yudhishthira Maharaj wished to perform the great Rajasuya sacrifice, which is something which a king performs to establish So in this Rajasuya sacrifice, Yudhishthira Maharaj had invited all great personalities, great sages like Vyasadeva, Narada, and many other sages, kings from all over Bharatvarsha, the Yadavas headed by Lord Krishna. Krishna was also acting like a king of one province, Dwarka. And even the powerful rulers like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Shishupala, Duryodhana, Shakuni, all leading men of the society. Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, everybody. All of them assembled in Yudhishthira's assembly hall, which was resplendent with opulence and hospitality. Yudhishthira had engaged the some expert member who had made this palace extraordinarily wonderful. Mayadanava. So he made this, he built this palace using all mystic power. That there were so many descriptions are there in the detail in the Mahabharata. Then in this Rajasuya sacrifice, in that wonderful palace with all the guests, leading people in the whole world invited for this. In that there is a ritual in the Rajasuya sacrifice called Agra Puja, the worship of the most exalted guest in that assembly, has to be worshipped by Yudhishthira, the host. So Yudhishthira obviously inquired from all the elders and advisors who should be offered this Agra Puja. There are so many great personalities present in that assembly. So all the assembled sages and kings unanimously declared among all present the most worthy of honor is Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, ultimate cause of all causes, was descended. So he deserves to be offered the Agra Puja, the most deserving person. Hearing this, what did Yudhishthira do? Joyfully he offered Krishna the first worship, washing Krishna's lotus feet, decorating with garlands, honoring with gifts and prayers, exactly according to the rules of the. So, when Yudhishthira worshipped Krishna by offering Agra Puja, all the devotees and saintly persons were very much delighted. But one person was very angry, and that was Shishupala. He was the king of one province called Chedi province, and he was also invited. All the kings were invited. He also came to the assembly. But when he actually was witnessing Krishna being offered the worship, he became very angry. So Shishupala, while that ceremony was going on, he stood up, his eyes red with anger, and began to harshly criticize Lord Krishna, and he also began to criticize those who were worshipping him. He said very mockingly, how shameful that even elders like Bhishma and Drona are here, who deserve actually, in the sense that they deserve to be actually worshipped. Yet, all of you have chosen to honor this cowherd boy who lives among the Yadus. He is insulting Krishna actually. Krishna is actually a cowherd boy. Means he's a Vaishya. And somehow, some strange connection with Vasudeva, who is a Kshatriya. He is now living among the Yadus, and he has declared himself as the king of some province called Dwarka, which was again very mysterious. You see, everything about Krishna is mysterious. That is he son of Nanda Maharaj or is he son of Vasudeva? And mind you, nobody knows exactly except two people. Three people actually. One is Vasudeva, second one is Devaki, third one is Narada. Three people only know Krishna is actually the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, but he was transferred by Vasudeva just immediately after he was born. You know the story. You have heard this. to Nanda Maharaj's house, and the daughter who was born at the same time as Krishna was born to Vasudeva and Devaki, the daughter who was born to Nanda and Yashoda, was actually exchanged for Krishna. And who did this? Vasudeva. And he did it completely in the dead of the night when everyone else was asleep. Only Vasudeva and Devaki were awake. Nobody else was awake. So he's exchanged that, and you know what happened. Anyway, so it is mysterious that Krishna was in Vrindavan as the son of Nanda and Yashoda, and he was raised very nicely. He was living there. But somehow, Kamsa attempting to kill Krishna, that was also another mysterious thing that was going on. It was not openly known that Kamsa is trying to kill Krishna, who is in Vrindavan. So he would send some demons, and they would go with some mystic powers disguised in different ways, and invariably they would be dead and gone. Obviously, the non-devotees or the ordinary people can never make out how these demons are all dying one after another, one after another. So Krishna, as a small covered boy, it's important to note that to kill these demons, Krishna did not use any weapon in Vrindavan. Like a child's play, he would just dispose of these demons, disturbing our play, our sporting activities with the cowherd boys. That's the way it actually happened. All these demons being killed in Vrindavan. So, it is very mysterious what was actually happening. And both the devotees and non-devotees are mystified. The non-devotees, they can't make out what is actually happening. They keep hearing something. Those days there was no television like we have today to televise, interview, all that, nothing. They keep hearing something. And people who are in the surrounding neighborhood, they are witnessing also, but even they can't make out. Both non-devotees and devotees alike. So, when Krishna was invited by Kamsa for one Dhanur Yajna, actually Kamsa's plan was to personally kill, because all the attempts to kill Krishna by his demonic associates failed. Then Kamsa decided, let me personally kill this Krishna. And that also he arranged for one wrestling match. And that wrestling match is fought between powerful wrestlers. Krishna is just about 12-year-old boy. So he and Balaram were invited to that Dhanur Yajna, some sacrifice. But as soon as Krishna entered Mathura, immediately there was one elephant waiting there, another demon in the form of elephant, waiting to kill Krishna. But Krishna killed that elephant. Then, when Krishna went to that wrestling arena, so then he was invited by two powerful wrestlers, Chanura and Mushtika, that we have heard you are, even though you are born of Vaishya parents, you are very, very expert in fighting. So they challenged Krishna and Balaram, Chanura and Mushtika. And Krishna and Balaram accepted the challenge and simply finished them off. So then so many other wrestlers came according to Kamsa's plan to kill Krishna by his associates, posing as wrestlers. But nobody could kill Krishna. Balaram killed all of them. Then Kamsa himself attempted to kill Krishna, but Kamsa was killed by Krishna. So very, very mysterious how a 12-year-old boy who's got delicate limbs and looks very, very, very beautiful, because many people in the audience were protesting when the match was about to begin, that wrestling match between Krishna and I think Chanura and Mushtika and Balaram. Oh, these two boys, how can, they be challenged like this? A lot of people began to protest. But they were silenced by Kamsa's, guards and the associates. So, the whole thing is mysterious. Now, in the Rajasuya sacrifice, which happened later after this killing of Kamsa and all those wrestlers, in that, the description is that obviously all the saintly persons selected Krishna to receive the Agra Puja because they knew that he is the Supreme Lord. But the Shishupala became very, very envious he was always envious of Krishna. So he actually insulted Krishna and said it's totally improper in this assembly for Krishna to receive the Agra Puja. So Krishna remained silent without taking exception to the insults being hurled by Shishupala. So then, when Krishna was silent and he continued to insult Krishna in so many ways, then immediately Bhishma stood up and he declared, Sri Krishna is not an ordinary man. He is the Supreme Lord himself. All great personalities, including Brahma and Shiva, they worship him. So those who cannot see his divinity are blind due to their envy, referring to Shishupala particularly. I therefore fully support the worship of Krishna as the most exalted personality. So Bhishma wanted to stop Shishupala's hurling insults. And he justified also. Of course, this is brief description. There are many more details in the Mahabharata. Hearing this, many kings and many saintly persons applauded Bhishma, but some of Shishupala's allies, they supported Shishupala's protest. So then soon a quarrel began between the kings and they were all getting ready to fight against each other. And this is the Kshatriya spirit. But Krishna raised his hand and silenced the whole assembly. Wait a minute. So, while Krishna silenced the assembly, all the kings settled down. Okay, no fighting. No, Krishna is going to say something. But Krishna will continue to be silent for some time. And Shishupala continued to insult Krishna. So, Krishna tolerated the insults till a certain point. And after that, he released the Sudarshan Chakra and severed the head of Shishupala. So Shishupala was killed by Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra. Just a moment. And then after that something extraordinary happened. A light came out of Shishupala's dead body, entered into Krishna's body. What was that? That is, Krishna achieved liberation being killed by Krishna. Shishupala achieved liberation being killed by Krishna. Because Krishna is merciful to everyone, including the demons. He is merciful to everyone. Because everyone is his part and parcel. Whether somebody is a devotee or a demon in this material world. Or somebody is an ordinary person. Every living being is part and parcel of Krishna. Mamaivamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanat. And in the 4th chapter, Krishna says, all the living entities, yena bhutani asheshani drakshasi atmani atomayi. All the living beings are my part, amsha, and they are mine, they belong to me. They are in me, that means they are completely protected, sheltered, provided for, maintained by me. They all belong to me. They are mine. And mine means there is a very nice, loving relationship. And that is also explained in the 5th chapter. Surudam sarva bhutanam. Suhrit means the topmost well-wisher. I am the topmost well-wisher of every living being. Therefore, when generally Krishna does not personally engage in giving the result of the material fruitive activities to the living entities, he engages his external energy, Durga Devi, to give out those reactions. But in extraordinary cases where Krishna wants to show some mercy, he personally will reward a devotee or kill a demon. In either case, Krishna being absolute, when he rewards a devotee, the devotee is immediately liberated. Or he kills a demon, the demon is immediately liberated. So both are liberated means what? Carefully understand this. Liberated means, first of all, their karma is completely nullified. No more karma. All their reactions, especially their sinful reactions, are completely nullified. So after either receiving some benediction from Krishna as a devotee, rewarded by Krishna, or being killed by Krishna, either of them, the devotee or the, is completely liberated. No more karma. But what is their destination? The destinations are different. The destination of the non-devotees, of the demons, is merging into the Brahma Jyoti, existence of the body of Krishna. Actually, they merge into the effulgent rays emanating from the Supreme Lord's transcendental form. Brahma Jyoti, it's called Brahma. It's a spiritual sky. Brahma Jyoti is a spiritual sky. So they merge into Brahma Jyoti. That's their destination. Those who are killed by Krishna personally. And those who are rewarded by Krishna, they also have a destination. What is their destination? They go back to Krishna's personal abode. So in the spiritual world, there are two destinations for living entities from this material world who go to the spiritual world after liberation. Either they enter the spiritual sky and remain merged in the spiritual sky, or they enter Krishna's different planets, spiritual planets called Vaikuntha Loka, or even Goloka Vrindavana, Krishna's personal planet. And there they become one of the associates of Krishna or Narayana, Krishna's other forms in Vaikuntha. They become loving associates of Krishna and Narayana or Narayana. So the destination is different when Krishna personally involves in rewarding somebody or in killing somebody. So this Shishupala, because he is personally killed by Krishna, and he was a demon, a demoniac nature person, he was very envious of Krishna, so he merged into the Brahma Jyoti. So that was witnessed by all present in the Rajasuya sacrifice. So Uddhava is glorifying Krishna that he is merciful even to the demons. You see? Now, when Krishna kills the demon, he doesn't have to kill the demon to award him liberation or merging into the Brahma Jyoti. Krishna doesn't have to do that. But why does he kill them and then award them liberation? It seems like contradictory, no? Giving them liberation is actually Krishna benedicting the demons. But killing seems like Krishna is punishing them. Actually, it is not a punishment. It is Krishna's mercy on the demons that he kills them to stop their nonsensical, sinful activities completely. Otherwise, if Krishna were just to pardon and nullify all the sinful reactions, the sinful mentality will not go away. The sinful mentality will not go away. So the sinful mentality continues in the next life, and they continue to accumulate more sinful reactions and more suffering. So the suffering, there is no end, simply because of death. This we should remember always. Even if somebody were to nullify their sinful reactions, either being killed by Krishna or even performing some pious activities, prayaschitta, still their mentality doesn't change until they are completely purified in their consciousness. So this purification of consciousness can happen two ways. One is being purified by practice of bhakti yoga, complete purification of consciousness, or being purified by being killed by Krishna. The consciousness becomes completely purified. So in either case, when the consciousness is fully purified, they don't have to take birth again, and their destination is this spiritual world. But in the spiritual world, those who have attained liberation by Krishna killing them, then they merge into the Brahma Jyoti. They can't enter the spiritual planets. Why they can't enter the spiritual planets? Because they are not devotees. They are not devotees. So only devotees have entrance into the spiritual planets. Only devotees have entrance there. The non-devotees, they don't fit into that spiritual planets. Because they don't know what is devotional service. They don't know who is Krishna. In the sense that they don't know Krishna is the topmost well-wisher. We all belong to Krishna. We are actually having a loving relationship with Krishna. All this is unknown to the non-devotees. And that's the position of the conditioned souls in this material world who are forgetful of Krishna, who are busy with sense gratification and material activities for material enjoyment. That's the position. So either they become purified and liberated by Krishna killing them, or they have to practice bhakti yoga. They become devotees with practice of bhakti yoga and then become completely purified with practice of bhakti, and they become first class devotees. Then they get automatically, by becoming pure devotees, free from all material desires, completely pure in the consciousness. Then they, at the end of that particular life, in the perfect bhakti yoga, they go back to Godhead. Go back to Godhead means go to the personal abode of the Supreme Lord, either Vaikuntha or Goloka Vrindavan. So this finer details of what is liberation, what are the kinds of liberation, what is the destination of different people who are liberated, all this is explained only in the devotional scriptures, of which the two most important devotional scriptures is pointed out by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad. So let's stop here. Srintara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.